Here we go. Let's get ready. Smash those likes. Hit that subscribe. Here we go. Live stream 2 of the day. Let's go, guys. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and we're back for the second live stream of the day. 2 out of 3 today so far, and guess what, guys? The market has been turning against us. We're going back down, baby. What is going on here? Why are we crashing? Why are the altcoins red? What happened to the Bitcoin dominance? I thought we were pumping up to the forever and ever. We're going to be covering all of this and plus a lot more. So I appreciate every single one of you guys taking your time to come hang out with me here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Like I said, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. And we're going to be taking a close look here at what is happening in the market overall. So right now, if we go take a look at the fear and greed index overall, we're somewhere around 65% in the greed, starting to get a little greedy. You know what I mean? Altcoin season still nowhere near. We're very deep into the Bitcoin seasons continuously here, but Bitcoin has had a major shift here, guys. You guys know earlier in the live stream, well, earlier today in the previous live stream in the morning, we front ran my entry here for this short at the previous day high by literally $20, but that was the trade of the day. 100% the trade of the day. Why do I say that? We came up, we front ran the previous day high. We swept the previous day, the daily open. We swept the previous day. We swept the daily open and we front ran the previous day high, pushing us back into the previous day range. And now doing that led us all the way down to the previous day low. It's almost like technical analysis works, right? And we've come all the way down here, back down to the previous day low. If this area does not hold as support, we could be dropping down to the daily NPOC of Monday, down at 107,745, which is not great. That's not what we want to see, But at the end of the day, still not a big deal. We're still, getting some resistance here on this 109, which I'm not very happy about. Right? If we jump out to the daily time frame. What does this look like? It looks like we're getting a major rejection off the 109 area. And also, you can argue that it's also just a liquidity grab. As you can see, we had a big wick all the way to 108,400 yesterday. And now we're coming back down, filling that wick, right? Grabbing all that liquidity, hopefully to send us back to the upside, build maybe potentially a little bit of a bull flag up here before skyrocketing to new all-time highs. So that is something else to be aware of on the higher time frames of the daily. This pullback for Bitcoin overall has led altcoins to pull back as well. Ethereum is still chugging along. But before we get into the altcoins, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance has been moving down, which is fantastic. All right, let me turn off my trading indicator here. As you guys can see, Bitcoin dominance, right, yesterday was up at 64.63%, and today we've come down as low as 63.77%, almost a full percent drop of Bitcoin dominance, which is fantastic. The more the Bitcoin dominance drops, the more the altcoins get to move. Obviously, Bitcoin's price coming down as well didn't help the rest of the altcoins, but Ethereum is still leading the way. Why do I say that? We do want Bitcoin dominance to keep dropping. Before we get back to Ethereum, we want Bitcoin dominance to drop all the way back to 61%, potentially even dropping us down to 59 to 58%, taking us below the Q1 range for Bitcoin dominance would be fantastico, mi amigos. So yes, that would be fantastic, but we will see. That's going to take some time. Now, let's jump on over to Ethereum. Ethereum continues to chug along. And it's the little engine that I think I can. Let me turn my indicator back on. And as you can see, we weren't able to hold the previous day high. We came down. We're getting rejected between the previous day high and the daily open. A lot of sideways chop here. We came up as high as 28.77. But fantastic trade here nonetheless. Right, I told you guys on the live stream that a retest of this previous day high, if it held support, would be a nice long to the upside, and it did exactly that. Ran up to about 28.78 before pushing back down again. So that would have been a nice little short-term trade right there to get in and out of. But Ethereum, nonetheless, remains bullish, even if we're not hitting 3,100 just yet. It's okay. Why? Because we are above 2711. 2711 is the zone to stay above. We need to stay above 2711. The minute we start seeing Ethereum starting to fall back below 2711 and close dailies below that, altcoins are about to get smacked. They're about to get smacked, right? So meanwhile, Ethereum stays up here. It still has room to run to 2,900, 3,100 area, allowing the altcoins to follow along with it. Bitcoin dominance continues to slip to the downside, which is what we need. It's what we need. Let me jump into the chat here, say hi to everybody, and appreciate everybody jumping in here. Make sure you guys are jumping into the chat. Don't be quiet, guys. Drop your questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. I'll cover whatever altcoin you want me to post in here. Meanwhile, it's not some ridiculous microcap meme coin or something. Magic smashing those likes. Come on, guys. We got 1,000 likes already. Let's get it. Let's get to 10,000 likes. Let's see here. Zebec, somebody wants to know about Zebec. I'll cover Zebec here in just a second, making sure I'm not missing anything else. Papi Chulo, 96K, here we come. Potentially, maybe I was right. Maybe I was right, but I was just delayed on the time frame. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I'd rather be wrong and have Bitcoin continue pushing up and let all the haters hate about 96,000 than to say, I told you guys I was right about 96K. Because, man, I'm tired of 96K, man. I'm tired of these low Bitcoins and low altcoin price movements. I want the moon, baby. I want us to go to the moon. Okay, let's go take a look at Zebec here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Keep it rocking and rolling. Let's get back over here. Will ETH get to 3K? Yes, Ethereum will get to 3K, guys. Ethereum will get to 3K ETH. Meanwhile, we stay above 2711. Our next big move to the upside is 2923. Getting above that will push Ethereum outside of the Q1 range, right? Breaking above the Q1 range. And the targets here are between 3,000 to 3,182. We also have a gold pocket around this area as well. So, yes, $3,000 Ethereum is loading. Loading like the old 90s games. You got to... Ding, loading, baby. It's going. Just got to give it some time. Let it cook. Let it cook. Now, let's go take a look at Zebec. Zebec. Oh, what am I doing? My chart's right over here. Zebec coming back up to that support zone, trying to say, save me. Save me, please. Save me. Need to get above that support zone here. So, Zebec currently here on the daily, getting back above this daily MPOC area. Let's jump down to the 30-minute. Back above this support zone that we've been in for quite some time of 0.0043. Staying above here is good. We still need to keep climbing up, but be very aware. We're still making lower highs, right? See, in the 1 hour, we had the double top, then we had a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Still making a little bit of a lower high here. Got to be very careful here. Don't want to get overexcited about this when we're still in a downward trend here for Zebec. But, seeing it trying to break out of the May range is very bullish. Now, the question is going to be, can it do it, or is it going to just continue dropping to the downside? The longer we spend time here, the bigger the chance that we drop to the downside. Obviously, you got to manage your risk. I'm not holding this thing right now, nor am I taking any trades off of it. I've just been trading Bitcoin lately. But, Zebec right now trying to make a push back above the previous support zone of 0.0043. Hopefully it can hold. If it can, maybe it'll make another run towards that 0.005. And if it can't, then it's going to continue dropping down to 0.036 to 0.032. Let's jump back over here into the chat to see what the chat is saying. What's the big red bubble right behind you? Move out the way. Whoa. Move. I don't know. There's a bunch of big red bubbles behind me. Let's see here. Okay, here's a dumb question. Would you advise taking gains and put into Bitcoin? Ooh, tricky question, but I like it. I like it. All right. So realistically, right now, it would highly depend on when you got into your altcoins. How long have you been into your altcoins, right? Obviously, altcoins are nowhere near the highs that they were back in December, November time. So it really depends on your entry, because if you're negative on your altcoins, you probably don't want to be jumping out at this point in time. If you're massively up in the profit, if you got really early in back in 2023, early 2024, before the major rallies of March, then, you know, maybe taking some profits wouldn't be a terrible idea. Now, whatever profits you take, right, my overall thesis and my overall game plan is at some point in time in this cycle, whether it happens late 2025 or it happens midway through 2026, I will be selling all my altcoins, right? I will be selling all my render, all my BitTensor Tau, all my Quant, all my Uniswap, all my every other altcoin I have out there, right? I'm going to be selling it all. And I will be waiting for a Bitcoin retracement. I will be waiting for a big retracement on Bitcoin. And as we see those large retracements in Bitcoin, I will dollar cost average and stack up more Bitcoin as I can. I'm not going to just instantly sell my altcoins and then go right back and buy Bitcoin at a local high. I'm not going to do that. That makes no sense. Bitcoin will have pullbacks at some point in time. I get it. Some people are like, it doesn't matter. Dollar cost average no matter what. Yeah, you can dollar cost average at any point in time, sure. But if you're reading charts, if you know how to read charts, if you have access to the Crypto Citadel where you're getting macro long-term analysis and you understand that there could be a potential for a pullback, it's better to strategically dollar cost average on big dips than to just blindly be dollar cost averaging endlessly. So that being said, I'm going to wait for one of those strategic moments, start seeing some big pullbacks. And as we see those big pullbacks, like we saw in Q1, when we dropped from 109 down to 76, those were good areas to dollar cost average, right? Losing 90,000 was a good area to start buying some Bitcoin and dollar cost average on the way down. Not going to be buying at 100,000+ right now. So those overall are my thesis. It's always, I do believe it's always a good idea to stack Bitcoin. I do believe it's hypercritical to try to own at least a quarter of a Bitcoin. Right now, it's nearly impossible for an average person to own one Bitcoin. So if you do own one Bitcoin, consider yourself in the top 1% of the world in the next 5 to 10 years, because no one else is going to have one full Bitcoin. Nobody else is going to be a Bitcoin whole coiner, right? Everyone's going to own fractions, and most people are going to own less than a quarter of a fraction. So even just owning a quarter of a Bitcoin is going to be a big deal at some point in the future. How low could ETH go if it closes below 27.11? Ooh, great question. Great question. See, I knew you guys have great questions. You guys are just shy, but I knew you guys would have some great questions. So let's jump into it. Let's see how low can Ethereum go if we start closing below 27.11, right? So if we start closing below 27.11, we do have some target here at 26.16. Julian, thank you for the Thunderbolt. Appreciate all the gifts. We do have some more targets to the downside below the May range at 23.56. We have another weekly untapped average at 22.89. And then we have some more targets all the way coming down to the yearly average of 1978. So dropping to as low as 2,000 is potentially possible. Hopefully this yearly pivot of 1978 would hold. Whoa, we got a whole ocean, baby. We swimming with the jellyfishes over here. Let's get it. Appreciate that. So obviously the downfall can be massive, right? We can see targets all the way down back to 1,600. It all really depends on Bitcoin. I'm not expecting to see anything like that. Worst case scenario, if we do start dropping back below 27.11 in the short term here through, like, let's say Q3, overall, if Q3 is overall negative, I would be looking for a 2,300 to potentially 1978 for Ethereum worst case scenario. That's what I'm looking for a short-term worst case scenario within the next Q3 of this year. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Let's keep on going through the chat here. Why are no officials or big market players holding XRP? Because XRP sucks. XRP sucks, bro. Like, XRP's cool. XRP, whatever. But the narrative that these other creators sell you about taking over the SWIFT system and all these trillions of quadrillions of dollars all flooding into XRP and XRP just taking absolutely over everything is fugazi. We know, and I've been talking about this since 2021, 2023. I've been talking about stablecoins. Stablecoins are the future. And XRP's entire market thesis is it's going to be the thing that everything runs on, right? But if stablecoins take over, they're not going to be putting all these stablecoins on XRP only. stable coins are going to be on multiple networks all around. Talking about stable coins, if we jump on over to X real quick and look at an article that just came out, Bank of America was just talking about, where is it? Where is Bank of America? Bank of America, Bank of America. Where are you? Come on, Bank of America, where are you, man? I think I might have passed it. Let me go back up. Bank of America was literally just talking about how it's launching its own stablecoin. Here it is. Bank of America CEO says that the bank is developing a stablecoin both independently and in collaboration with some industry partners. Automatically, XRP Army sees this. It's XRP. They're definitely working with XRP. XRP has worked with other governments around the world to launch stablecoins. That doesn't mean that those stablecoins independently all work on the XRP network only and that all the money is going to flood into XRP. So the narrative about XRP, there's a lot of fugazi in there. I 100% believe that Ripple, the company behind XRP, is in the game to dump XRP on people, make as much money as possible, which they have, and then acquire as many companies as they can in the financial industry space within Web3 or whatever it is to be able to IPO their Ripple company and go public. And at the end of the day, XRP is just a product. It's not this end-all, be-all that's going to take over everything. That's all just a big fugazi for me. So don't do the XRP. XRP Army gets me hyped, bro. XRP Army is getting me hyped. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Keep tapping those likes, guys. Let's get it. Let's see here. Aerodrome. Julian with the Thunderbolt. Appreciate it. Let's go take a look at Aerodrome here. Aerodrome down 5.6% today. Why, Aerodrome? Why you got to do me like that? Why you got to do me like that, Aerodrome? Let's go take a look at the chart here. Don't say I have XRP. It's okay if you own XRP. I don't hate people that have XRP, guys. I love everybody. All right. So, Aerodrome is drumming on the way down. Why you got to do me like that, Aerodrome? So, Aerodrome, overall, after being rejected at 79 cents in the May rally, we came all the way down to our gold pocket. We didn't fill the gold pocket. We just came back to the 618, 48 cents. We bounced. We jumped back into the May range, hit our monthly average of 60 cents, and currently we're pulling back. We still have a monthly NPOC for the month of May that's untapped at 64 cents. But if we continue pulling back here, if this gold pocket area does not hold around 48 to 46 cents and we fall back into the April range, our next monthly untapped target for the month of April is 38 cents. And then below that, we have the March 2024 value area low, 32 cents, which is where we kind of found support on the April lows. Definitely don't want to see us dropping all the way down there. We're still creating a lower high, as you guys can see. If we draw a trend line from this top, right over here, we're still high, lower high, lower high. Hopefully we don't drop too much lower and we can retest this, break out of this downtrend and start moving back up towards 83 plus cents for Aerodrome. Let's keep on looking here. Appreciate everybody sending in those gifts. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. What's everyone's thought on the Flare network? I don't have any thoughts on the Flare network. XRP's trash, Flare's secondary trash, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's not trash. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. XRP is just, it's okay. I don't really know a lot about Flare, so I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Why are no officials? Okay, I already read that. What about the Cardano army? Papi Chulo. Cardano is also struggling, man. Cardano's struggling. It needs to get some marketing. It needs to get some things going on. It needs to get some on-network action price activity, right? We know that Cardano's working with Bitcoin to bridge into DeFi and bridge all that stuff, which is fantastic for Cardano, but it needs to get a move on, bro. We don't got all day for this. The market's very different now than it was back in 2021. Something like that would have been announced in 2021 for Cardano. Cardano ran to $3.10 in 2021, and it didn't even have smart contracts. They didn't have NFTs. They didn't have anything, and it ran from 2 cents all the way to $3.10. That was probably one of the best performing assets of 2021. Now, fast forward to 2025, utility doesn't matter anymore. People don't care. Retail has moved on over to the brainwashed the meme coins, and all they want to do is trade meme coins day in, day out, lose a bunch of money. Pumped Out Fund is getting stinking rich, right? So rich off all these people. They are dumping hundreds of thousands of Solana every single day onto the market, which is another reason why I believe that Solana is never going to get to $1,000 like everyone thought, because they hold so much Solana and they dump so much Solana onto the market. The selling pressure is immense for Solana. Now, that's a long rant for Cardano. Let's get back to the technicals of Cardano here. So the technicals of Cardano. We came all the way down to the gold pocket after losing the May range, right? Within the April range, came down, tapped the monthly NPOC for April at 62 cents. We've bounced back up. We're trying to get into the May range. We're facing some resistance. We have a monthly untapped average of 73 cents, which we hit today. We have the value area low for the month of May, and then we have the anchored VWAP right below us. We're trying to find support on it, but we can't. Now, if we can get into the May range, our next big target here is 75 cents. No big deal. But we realistically need to get above 81. Getting above 81 cents, we need to close some dailies up there, start making a push to break towards the value area high of Q1, which is at 98 cents, smack down in the middle of some major resistance that we have between 94 to $1.01. Getting above $1 for Cardano is when things are going to get exciting. If Cardano can get back above $1, that's when things begin to get a little exciting. First target to the upside is 120. Above that is 150. And then above 150, we're talking about 178. And then we'll start seeing about, over $2 once we get closer to those levels for Cardano. So those are the targets for Cardano here in the short term. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Ganja baby, what's up? Says, what's up, Crusader? What do you think about Quant? I hold some Quant, man. Quant is has been holding up pretty well. I know some people, let's see here, I've been taking some trades off Quant. Quant came right up to our macro target and got dropped down, right? If people were paying attention, if you were in the Crypto Citadel, look, guys, this is how simple it is. Crypto Citadel, macro charts for people that are not traders, long-term holders. Go look for the Quant chart, right? Okay, let's see, where's Quant at? Quant, where are you? Where are you, Quant? Radium. All right, Quant, right here. I posted about this on June 2nd, 5:30 p.m. Posted a whole macro chart on Quant covering. Look, it looks like a lot of text, right? But we're talking about what happened, price, time frame, key support, key resistance, market structure. Bullish. Meanwhile, we hold $101 to $100. Next, we need to reclaim 124. 124 was the next big target to the upside, right? Resistance, monthly pivot, first major barrier, 124. What happened? I'll show you what happened. We came right to that major resistance that we didn't reclaim, and we pushed back down. People that were longing Quant into the resistance at 124 are not paying attention in the Crypto Citadel when we're looking at these macro analysis. We came up to 124. We tapped it on Monday. We tapped it yesterday, and we got rejected off of it today again. Now we're pushing back down, trying to find some support. Overall, Quant has held pretty strongly. It's one of the few altcoins that is above the May range. It hasn't even fallen into the May range or below like the majority of other altcoins, which is very, very good. All right, so holding above $100 is critical for Quant. We came up to our first target. We hit it. We got rejected. No big deal. That is to be expected off these big macro targets, right? Now we're pulling back. We'll find some support again. And our next target to the upside, once we can reclaim 124, is 141, which is also in the brief on over here in the Crypto Citadel for 141 being a monthly MPOC heavy supply zone. Like, this is what we're going to be going into. These are the areas that we need to look forward to, right? If we lose $100, then we're going to get into a neutral choppy area between 95 to 124. If we lose 95, we're going to potentially retest down to $70. This is all here in the bias summary, right? Very simple breakdown for the long-term analysis in the Crypto Citadel. Like, very easy stuff to digest, to understand for all the people that are long-term holders that are not even day trading. Now, if you're day trading along with me and taking the signals, then that's a whole different story. And even then, Crypto Chef, good to see you, brother. It's been a while since I've seen you, Crypto Chef. What's going on, man? Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, sharing out the live stream. Joe wants to talk about AXLR. Is that how you say it? Just AXL. It's down 11.6% today. I made a video about this literally a few days ago. Maybe yesterday. No, not yesterday. It was maybe Monday or Sunday that I made a video on it. And guess what? I told people not to FOMO. I'm sure people FOMO'd. And now we're pulling back. So look at this bad boy, right? It pumped 60-something% in a day, went all the way up to 60%, right into a resistance zone for AXLR, got rejected off the 382 fib at 60 cents, our monthly untapped average at 61 cents. Got a major wick all the way back down inside of the Q1 range, right? And now we're pulling back lower to potentially retest this gold pocket and potential breakout of the month of May down at 39 cents. Not saying that we have to go down to 39 cents, but this is a pretty big wick to the upside, closing back within the Q1 range. Most likely we could come down to this gold pocket of 39 cents, find some support again before we bounce and start pushing back above. Now, once AXL can break above 65 cents and stay above this resistance zone, we're going to be re-entering the Q4 range. The Q4 range has three main targets to the upside: 77 cents, 80 cents, and a gold pocket at 83 cents for AXLR. So do with that what you will. Those are the areas in critical zones for AXL. I appreciate everybody smashing those likes. I appreciate everybody that's joining the Crypto Citadel. It's fantastic to have every single one of you guys in there trading with me. And if you're not trading, make sure you're requesting altcoins. Be like, yo, Crusader, give me a macro analysis on this altcoin. Give me some macro analysis on this other altcoin. Tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, I will be doing an exclusive live stream in the Crypto Citadel alone for all the members in there and for everybody that's trying to set up their trading accounts, helping them how to set that up and teaching them how to do all that stuff. Forget it. Number one, ETH. Let's go. ETH, man. I love me some ETH. Painlink thoughts. Man, Painlink is one that I like. It's a micro cap. It's definitely high risk, right? It's only $52 million market cap. But it hits three big narratives, and I think in the next big altcoin season, it could rally. I'm still holding on to my Painlink bags, right? So it hits the AI, the DPN, and the real-world asset, all three of them. So very, very bullish on Painlink. We'll see if the project can deliver. I see their tweets every other day coming out. They're always continuously building out their marketplace, doing more stuff. So we will see if Painlink can make it or not. What's your take on the top three tokens to purchase for the most profit in this upcoming alt season? Very difficult to say what's going to make the most profit, right? There's a lot of cryptos now, guys. There's millions and millions of cryptos. There's meme coins. There's utility coins. There's all kinds of there's all kinds of stuff everywhere, right? There's all kinds of stuff everywhere. So it really depends on your risk tolerance. Do you want to be all in the micro caps? Those have tons of upside, but they have tons of risk that they can go to zero as well. So you have to be very aggressive on taking profits. Do you want to be in more stable side of things, right? 5 cryptos that I'm bullish on that I think are going to have decent rallies that are larger market cap, lower risk, right? They're not gonna 100x, they're not gonna make you rich overnight or anything like that. But I do believe they're going to have decent rallies overall. You guys have heard me say it before. If you're new here, I'll say it one more time. They're all within the Ethereum ecosystem. Ethereum, I believe, is about to head into a major rally. And once Ethereum in this cycle breaks its previous all-time high and starts running for that $6,000 to $8,000, Ethereum ecosystem is going to melt faces, right? And why do I say that? What are these 5 altcoins that I've talked about? Well, within the Ethereum ecosystem, the 5 are Maker, Lido, Pando, Aave, and Uniswap. 4 of those are DeFi plays. One of them is a DEX. Those 4 DeFi plays, why are they going to increase in value? Very simple. As Ethereum whales continue to make money because their Ethereum bags are pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping, they are going to collateralize their Ethereum. They're not going to dump it. They're not going to sell it. They're going to take out stable coins. They're going to take out loans against their ETH to either buy more ETH or buy other altcoins within the Ethereum ecosystem or just in general. All the collateralization of Ethereum, right, is going to allow to Ethereum to continue increasing. It's going to allow for these DeFi platforms to increase in value, like Pendle, like Aave, like Lido, like Maker, right? They're all going to increase as more DeFi action begins to happen. You guys have heard the term DeFi summer. We're seeing more and more regulation in DeFi coming in that is very pro DeFi, very pro crypto, which is very bullish. It's all the dots are starting to connect. Ethereum starts breaking out. Ethereum gets staking on the ETFs. We're going to see a major rally in the Ethereum ecosystem, and that's why I think it's massive. Last one is Uniswap. Uniswap literally handles all the DeFi pools, handles all the traffic, handles everything that is happening on the Ethereum network is happening through Uniswap. How is Uniswap not going to explode with that kind of level of traction happening on the Ethereum network? So that's why those are the 5 that I'm most that I like talking about a lot with the least amount of risk. Obviously, there's going to be tons of other altcoins that are going to do massively more gains and all that stuff, but just they're at a whole nother level of what you call it, of risk. Thanks for the great trade last night. Will you be doing a live trade again tonight? Dana, I might be going live again. I'm trying to go live 2 to 3 times per day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening near the daily close. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a setup. Maybe we won't. The Ethereum trade last night was fantastic. If you guys took that trade with me and took it down to the targets, man, I made 25% on my Ethereum 20X short last night. I shorted the very top. Entry was 28.19. Shorted the top. Everybody was extremely bullish. I was like, guys, this is the time to short. I even said it on live stream. Everybody's bullish. Crusaders shorting. And I shorted that bad boy all the way down to 27.83. It dropped a lot lower than that. But by that time, I was going to go to sleep. I didn't want to hold it overnight. So I just closed it out. And I closed it out for $620 profits, right? Then this morning in the Crypto Citadel, we took a long on Bitcoin. You guys can see here, 8:23 a.m. I dropped the signal in the Citadel. And within 5-minute candle, dude, if this is a 15-minute candle, but look, it still had 11 minutes and 55 seconds when I took the screenshot. In less than 5 minutes, all 3 TPs got hit. You guys can see the TPs right here. TP1, 109,400. TP2, 109,646. TP3, 109,880. And bing, bang, boom. All 3 got hit with less than 5 minutes. And we made a quick buck here. Another 260%. $260. I got out on the second TP. I didn't think the TPs were going to hit that fast, so I didn't have it set for the third one. I always kind of set for the second one. And man, it just blasted through it. So made another quick $260 in 4 minutes in the Crypto Citadel this morning at 8:30 in the morning. So that was fantastic trade as well. We've been taking a few other trades here and there, but you know, that was the big thing for the Crypto Citadel. So if you're not in there, definitely do so. Sign up with the link in the bio, link in the profile. What's the next move? Mini altcoin rally. What's the next move? Well, Ethereum is above 2711. That's the leading horse right now. Ethereum being above 2700 is the leading horse for this altcoin season to continue rallying. Bitcoin dominance right now is starting to slip below 64%. We had Bitcoin dominance drop all the way down to as low as 63.79, 77% today. We're having a slight little increase. Once we start breaking out of this upward trend and we start dropping to 62%, 61% dominance on Bitcoin, Ethereum is going to rally hard above 2,900 to 3,100, and the altcoins are going to chase it behind it. I think we're going to have a mini altcoin season. I don't think we're going to have a full-blown altcoin season into Q3. I think we have a little mini altcoin season here within the next couple of weeks, and then Q3 begins, and we might get some funkiness and start getting some fugazi and some sideways potential pullback action into quarter 3 before quarter 4 starts to get really bullish again. Let's see here. When you make gains, do you cash out or put into something else? When I make gains on trades, like the trades that you saw there, that's just my trading portfolio. So I have my long-term portfolio and I have my trading portfolio. Sometimes with the profits from my trading portfolio, I rinse and repeat my profits on over to my long-term portfolio, and I dollar cost average altcoins. But I only dollar cost average on major dips, right? I've said it before. I'm not buying any altcoin until we drop below 100K. Once we start dropping below 100K and Bitcoin starts coming down to some critical levels and altcoins start to feel the pain, that's when I'm going to be buying more altcoins. Right now, the last time I bought altcoins was around down at $80,000 Bitcoin. I'm not buying any more altcoins until we get back towards those levels. Not 80,000 exactly, but until another major dip in the market. That's just the way I roll. Let's see here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Axon Dow, Mongoose, what's going on? What platform do I trade on? I trade on multiple different platforms, but overall, Blowfin or BitUnix right now, I'm trying to work out a partnership with one of those two exchanges to try to see if I could get some benefits. I know I can. I've done it before, but I'm trying to seal the best deal for the members in the Crypto Citadel, for everybody in there that starts to trade under the link that I partner up with. They're going to get the best fees, the best deals overall, the best bonuses to trade on. So that's what I'm working on right now. Let's go take a look at Axon Dow, AXGT. Decentralized Science up 11.9% today, hitting 12, almost 13 cents before a little pullback here. Axon Dow is one that I over 100x'd on. I got into Axon Dow when it was in a few $100,000 market cap, and it's been the biggest gainer in my entire career in crypto. So literally took it from a few $100s to a few tens of thousands of dollars for Axon Dow, which was fantastic. But that being said, still a believer in decentralized science, still a believer in long-term altcoin season. Decentralized science is a very small narrative, a very new narrative, a narrative that people quickly forgot. It was pretty hot at the beginning of 2024, and since then hasn't really got any more traction. But I do believe it's going to have another comeback in the next major altcoin season. When's that going to happen? Nobody knows. It's going to take some time. But like I said, I've already taken the grand majority of all my profits on Axon Dow. I bought back in around 10 cents, and now I'm just waiting to see if it has another big move to the upside. Let's keep on reading here through the chat. Gala says, what's Gala a good short-term altcoin? I'm not touching Gala. Don't really like Gala. There's probably a lot of other altcoins out there that are way better. Really depends on your risk tolerance and market, risk tolerance is pretty much the whole thing. Let's see here. BitUnix, Unix with an X, not Unique. BitUnix and Blowfin, BLOFIN are the two exchanges I use to trade. Let's see here. $4,000 what? Ethereum? Yeah, I definitely think $4,000 Ethereum is in the cards sometime this cycle. When you, let's see here. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. Dana says, I need to join your Discord. Do it, man. What are you waiting for? Do it. The link is in the profile. Link is in the bio. Do it. Stop wasting time and just do it. Let's keep going through here. What's the best altcoin, Papi Chuli? Oh, you already know, man. There's no answer to that. There's no what is the best altcoin. The question is, how much risk are you willing to take, right? How much risk are you willing to take on an altcoin? Do you want a micro cap, right? Like Pinlink or like Axon Dow, or do you want a mid-tier cap, right? You want a blue chip with $1 billion market cap plus? All really depends. You want something short-term, long-term? Are you holding? Are you trading? Oh, there's so many questions. Such a difficult question to answer. It's practically impossible. What coin do you think made 100x? Man, 100x is, I'm not looking for no 100x at this point in time in the cycle. 100x's was a big conversation back in 2023, right? When we were leaving the bear market, entering the bull market, Bitcoin was in like $20,000, $30,000 area. Altcoins were just starting to rally, right? A lot of 100x's and 50x's during that time. 2024, right, gave a lot of 20, 30x's as well. Some 100x's here and there at the very beginning in the March rally. After that, 100x's, 50x's, 30x's kind of went out the window. And as the later we get in this cycle, the less likely 100x's are a thing. 100x's still happen. They're still out there, right? They happen with meme coins. They happen with some random new coin that pops out of nowhere. They'll still happen, but they'll be very, very infrequent. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Very, very, not a typical thing like we were seeing in 2023. Filecoin's never been one of my favorite. A lot of people like Filecoin for some reason. It's never really been a big thing for me. Never really held it. Hasn't been doing anything of any sort that is interesting at all. So we can take a look. We can take a look at some critical targets here for Filecoin. Do I even have a chart on Filecoin? I feel like I do because so many people ask. Yeah, I do. Okay, here we go. Quick and dirty. We're still within the April range, trying to get back above into the May range for Filecoin. Our naked point of control main target for the May range, once we can get in there, is about $2.86. If we can break above the May range and start moving up above that, our two targets are at 362 to 382 to the upside. Then we have a long way to go with low volume to the value area high of Q1, which is sitting at $4.81. And then we have another target at $5.14 right above the Q1 high. Above that $5 mark, we don't have another target until $6.26, which is a macro long-term gold pocket to the upside. Those are the targets for Filecoin. PP Dimitri Trofa. What's going on, PP Dimitri? It says AI16Z has been one that has a lot of chop price action, right? Very, very volatile AI agent coin, down 13% today, down 39% on the month. I don't know if I even have anything, if I even have a chart on this thing. AI16, oh, not 15. Jeez, did it again. Nope, did it again. Let's see here. I haven't looked at this chart in forever. All right, so this thing has been nothing but in the ground since the massive launch back in January. Don't expect anything. Honestly, this thing's going to be flatter than a pancake. Yeah, this is not even worth covering. We're pretty much at the lows of the Q1 range for AZ, A116 or whatever it is it's called. Let's go take a look at some quarterly targets. Big target all the way up on 94 cents. I think that's very generous. Let's get some monthlies. Monthly untapped target to the upside is 27 cents. So yeah, to the upside, untapped target is 27 cents. Above that, we need to break above the local high of 40 cents. Run for the value area high of Q1 at 55. Once we're above 55 cents, our next big target is 93. Are we going to hit any of those? I don't know. This is a very volatile crypto AI agent. It's pretty much a meme coin of AIs, so don't really know. Keep us posted on Bitcoin, please. My next target is to buy it at 92 or less. Let's go, cats and doggos. What's going on? Appreciate you here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Bullish for the rest of the week, bro. Right now, right, Bitcoin needs to start getting back above that 109, right? The more we stay below 109, things could get a little bearish here for Bitcoin. As you guys can see here on the daily, right? Bitcoin only closed one daily candle above 109 back on May 22nd. The next day, we had a massively bearish engulfing candle. Since then, we were in a massive downtrend all the way until June 6th when we started breaking out of this downtrend. Now, on June 9th, we had a major rally. We broke above the value area high of this range of May. We closed our second daily candle above 109. Yesterday, we had a red candle wick us all the way down to 108,300, 108,400, and then we closed like it was a little hammer candle, I don't even know what this candle is called. It has a little sliver of candle body to the upside. Everything else is a massive wick to the downside. Today, we get another big red candle to the downside. You know, this is potentially filling in that liquidity, grabbing that liquidity to potentially push us back. But the more daily candles we close below 109, it is not good. Also, we're trying to build a little bit of a structure here, as I can see on the daily, a little bit of a bullish flag or so could be very beneficial to push us to the upside. But if we keep dropping lower to 107, right, we start losing support and start dropping lower below 107, this is going to be very bad, right? Closing so many dailies under 109 and getting lower and lower, it's going to be bad for the Bitcoin price. Could drop us all the way down to 104, which is a weekly untapped average, which is what I was expecting the first time we broke out. I didn't expect us to run to 109. I expected us to run to 107, where we had the gold pocket, drop to 104 at some point throughout the week or within that day or so, and then retest if this breakout was an actual breakout. As you guys can see, we broke out, but we never retested the breakout to confirm the breakout. So this is making me nervous that if we start getting lower and lower here, we most likely on this retest might fail and actually start falling back down and heading lower to that 96K Bitcoin area. I don't want to say that that's where we're going. I was wrong last time about going there. I was expecting the rejection at 107 to 109. Instead, we got this big old green candle to the upside. So for now, still bullish, but if we start closing more and more dailies below 109 and we start dropping below 107, 104 is going to be a critical area to keep an eye on for Bitcoin for sure. Almost there, cat and doggos. Appreciate every single one of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. This is our second live stream of the day. I will probably be coming back here for another third live stream later today around 7 p.m.-ish time, around 7:30-ish to get that daily close in. See if we get some good trade setups on the daily close before jumping into them and letting the Crypto Citadel know. So if you guys want to watch that and catch those trades like we did yesterday, we caught a trade on the daily close for Ethereum and shorted that bad boy. Maybe we'll see it, but make sure you guys are in the Crypto Citadel. Make sure you guys are paying attention. Tons of signals are happening in there every single day. Literally this entire week, we've been doing nothing but bangers, man. We got a 10.6% today win today. We got a 16.9% win yesterday. The day before that, we got, where is it? Oh, this is the same one. Sorry. The day before that, on Monday the 9th, we got another 18.10% win. Above that, we got another three TP hitter. Oh, I didn't post a take profit on it. Above that, on the 4th, we got a winner, 18.8%. We had lost 8% first, jumped back in, then we got one with 18%. Above that, another 11.9% winner. All of these are $300 to $600 wins. 55% win on Zebec, making me $723. Let's go. That was back on May 30th. So yeah, big wins happening in the Crypto Citadel all around. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Make sure you guys are joining the Crypto Citadel if you haven't already. Definitely do so. The link is in the profile or in the description down below, depending where you're watching. Appreciate all of you guys jumping in here. Guys, I'm going to be heading out. Got to go put my phone to charge. It's literally on like 10% battery. I'm going to put my phone to charge, continue to work on my indicator and letting everybody know in the Crypto Citadel what's happening. I'll see you guys later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Until next time, see ya.